Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Imagine a world with auto insurance that is fair, transparent, and easy. That is what Roadzen is trying to do. And with me is the CEO, Rohan Malhotra, to talk about this and how you're using AI, hopefully to get there. So let's just give me a quick overview of the company and your mission and the infrastructure and what is it the problem you're trying to solve.
Jane, firstly, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm the CEO and founder of Roadzen. Roadzen has a simple mission that as cars become what is really an iPhone on wheels, what you'll see is there'll be incredible innovation in businesses around the car, whether that is identity, cybersecurity of the car, entertainment in the car, or insurance. The key decisions that you need to make for an insurance policy is, how do I price this policy? How do I sell this policy? How do I process the claims? And how do I make sure the car is safer on the road so it's more profitable to be in insurance, right? And Roadzen makes these 4 decisions simpler using AI algorithms that we have built. And we can now make your underwriting, your premiums lower. We can make them transparent. We can make them fair. We can process claims in less than 2 minutes. On average, it takes about 6 weeks to process a claim. We're doing it in under 2 minutes.
Wow.
We can also make the car safer by giving the driver alerts before they're about to have an accident. So it's preventative, it's fair, it's reasonable, and it provides a great customer experience for every single driver on the road. We are now 400 people. We're a global company. Auto insurance is an $800 billion market annually, and we're targeting to be the innovator in this space. Now, I have to say, Roadzen is not an insurance company. We work with insurance companies, we work with car companies, and we work with large fleets across the world in the US, UK, Europe, and India. And those are our core platforms that we've built so far.
Now, you just had a 1.8% increase in revenue. Your losses are narrowing. There's a path to profitability. I mean, talk a little bit about the business and the balance sheet.
We just announced results yesterday. We did 12.1 million of revenues, which was a slight increase from last quarter. We narrowed our losses almost 88% on a year-over-year basis. And our adjusted EBITDA was roughly $1.8 million, which in a loss, which is roughly 15% less than last quarter. So you can see that the company is really accelerating towards break-even and profitability. And Roadzen is one of a few AI companies that are public, that are doing $50 million of revenue and accelerating and will be break-even. So we think this is a great opportunity for us to tell our story to the market.
Yeah. And also, you cleaned up the balance sheet, as you mentioned, including a recent $5.5 million reduction through a structured cash payment. Explain that, and how does that fit into your vision for the company, where you go from here?
Well, we had a bunch of liabilities sitting on the balance sheet. We renegotiated and paid off roughly $12.6 million of liabilities by paying roughly $1.65 million in cash and issuing 1.2 million shares at $2.80 a share, which is way above the current price of the stock. So basically, we've been able to get rid of almost 13 million in liabilities by a combination of stock and cash payments. And what does this mean for the company? It's that we're now able to get our core business into focus. Rather than people worrying about noise on the balance sheet, we want people to focus on our core story, our growth and journey as a public company.
Sure, and the technology that you're using to disrupt
Absolutely.
an industry. So, Rohan, thank you so much for coming in and explaining Roadzen.
It was fantastic. Thank you so much, Jane.
Thank you.
your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing secure, Swiss-hosted, data mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure at secure.com.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. Pet Vivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors. Acurx Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
AtlasClear is setting out to make a more efficient platform for trading, clearing, settlement, and banking. And with me is John Shibley, the executive chairman, and also Craig Ridenour, the president. So great to have you both here back at the Stock Exchange.
Thank you for having us.
So Craig, let's start. Last time you were here, we talked about a financing. It was $45 million that you had signed up for. What is there an update with that?
Sure, absolutely. We're making tremendous progress on that. The group that making the investment is called Henire. We've worked with the lead on that group for years. We have gotten notification that there's money sitting in escrow/trust for the first tranche. The $45 million will come over a period of time, although they are talking about accelerating some of those monies because they would like to clear out the convertible note structures that we have, and it's kind of been punishing our stock a little bit. But regardless, the first tranche we understand to be sitting in trust/escrow. And what one of the remaining gating factors is they want to make sure that management is in for the long haul, long-term commitment, understandably, and also that the economics are right and aligned with the longer-term vision to make sure that everyone's happy and we're building the company properly. So that's kind of the last little bits, but we're excited and we think we'll have some announcements here shortly.
Yeah. And how has your wholly owned subsidiary doing? Explain that, the company, and update us on how that's going.
So the wholly owned subsidiary is called Wilson Davis & Company. It's been a brokerage firm in existence for almost 60 years. We will report our numbers at some point this week. We're excited to release those numbers. We will show again accelerated revenue, increased net income, better management on expenses. And so from every perspective, Wilson Davis is performing extraordinarily well. And we're looking forward to actually having the release. It's difficult to speak about it prior to the release, but it will be this week. Yeah. The Q will be out and the numbers will be good.
And then you recently announced a partnership with Lockbox. So explain what that is and how does that impact the business for the long term?
Well, one of the reasons we wanted to acquire Wilson Davis is that they have a lot of latent revenue internal to their system. Again, the firm's been around for almost 60 years. They focus primarily on microcap. And as a consequence of that, because they're also a custodian, they hold a lot of microcap shares in their custodial box. Historically, they have not set those shares out for stock loan. And so they've really sacrificed a great deal of potential revenue by not engaging in that kind of business. Lockbox empowers us in a way that we think is very advanced and true to our fintech background to accelerate our stock loan business, to allow us to do better locates for shorts, to do it faster, to do it more efficiently. So Lockbox, the partnership that we signed with them, we're very excited about it. We do anticipate that that partnership will increase our revenue in Q2 materially. So it's true to our nature, fintech, stock loan, and hopefully more revenue.
And are there other initiatives similar to that that you're working on or can talk about?
Sure. We're looking to expand a number of lines within Wilson Davis. As John mentioned, there were a number, and we talked about it last time. There's a number of latent business lines that, quite frankly, we want to turn on the spigot. If you want to look at it that way. For instance, investment banking. We're doing more deals, more underwritings. We've got a number of deals in the pipeline. We're also strategically looking at talent that may be out there on the street that sees the opportunity within our company that maybe you're looking more from an equity standpoint to come on board to help us build out some of these different, from the investment banking, some of the different structures we want to do. So we think there's tremendous opportunity. We think we'll have some pretty nice announcements coming up. We're excited about our progress that we're making. But there is just so much untapped potential that's not being recognized by the street right now. And we understand why. We've got an overhang right now on the convertible notes that we currently have. We're trying to restructure, and that certainly will help with Hanair's investment. But over the longer term, there is a tremendous upside potential, we think, in the company. And also over the next 5, 10, 15 years, we think we can be a leader in this sector.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll be back for interviews to update us on
As
all
often
those
as we
things.
can.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing secure, Swiss-hosted, data-mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure at secure.com.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. Pet Vivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors, Acurx Pharmaceuticals, trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. Exozymes develops an enzyme technology for use in nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. It is replacing traditional chemical production with a method that uses common feedstocks like sugar and biomass combined with advanced enzymes engineered to work outside of living cells. Joining me today at the New York Stock Exchange with more is Michael Heltzen, CEO of Exozymes. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So first of all, tell me about the name Exozymes and the equation that led you to this creation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you said already, we use enzymes to do basically biosolutions that replaces a lot of the petrochemical ways of manufacturing chemicals today. And what makes us special is basically we're able to take enzymes that typically live inside of a cell and run them outside of cells, and it gives us a lot of capabilities that otherwise is not available. So enzyme means inside of cell, and zyme you can think of as like the activator. So we have the activators outside of the cell, and exo means outside, and exozyme kind of came in as a natural way of expressing the scientific basis of what we're doing, and therefore we basically coined it that term and also figured out that would be a good name for the company.
And that leads me to my next question is, what exactly does Exozymes do?
Yep. So people have probably heard about enzymes from something about they make something happen, and basically think of it as like the chemical accelerators of chemistry. So what we do is like we basically take the best of biology that typically lives inside of cells, and we use that as kind of an activator for how to make chemicals, but in a sustainable way. So basically, Exozymes is our ability to take a row of enzymes. We call them exozymes, but it is enzymes highly AI engineered to basically generate a sugar that it breaks down in small puzzle pieces and then builds it up to whatever chemical. When I say chemical, it can be medicine, and it can be like basically all the things that makes good life.
And that brings me to my next question. So, what is the go-to strategy for your company now?
Yes. So we're basically commercializing this fundamental new technology by first doing what we think of as asset build. So basically via joint ventures, where we team up with other people to take our technology and make new companies. We will probably also have spin-out companies. So basically taking a specific application of our technology in a specific market and bringing a whole new company out of that. And then, especially with time, we will be a licensing company that allows other people to come license our technology and apply it in their specific market verticals.
And for viewers out there who might not be familiar with the company or what you just mentioned, break it down for us, for the layperson, so they can understand where your company will be moving.
Yes. So our focus, especially here in the beginning, will be nutraceuticals that has pharmaceutical potential. What that means is basically nature have provided humankind with a lot of things over the years, decades, and we are basically taking things you would typically isolate from somewhere in nature, and we then mass manufacture that in this sustainable way. So it means a number of the things that is added to food or taken as supplements. That's the nutraceutical angle of it. So that's the first market, and we can go to market with that right away. But some of these compounds, if especially done with the purity grades that we can do, can actually become pharmaceuticals, basically drugs. That's obviously a much longer journey with a FDA approval and partnerships via the clinical realities of that. And because they take longer and it takes often a partner for us, that's kind of why we talk about it as nutraceuticals with a pharmaceutical potential.
And I do want to ask you about the role artificial intelligence plays. We know whether we're talking about the financial services industries, healthcare, or biotech, that artificial intelligence is playing a part. So what about at Exozymes?
Yeah, it's fascinating how there's a lot of convergence of a lot of different technologies happening right now. And I personally have had a career journey that started 20 years ago, where we started working with machine learning and other things like that. So it comes relatively natural to us to look at the opportunities. What is very unique for us is that we are a biotechnology company that has a very, very potent angle on the AI, because we can generate very, very relevant data and then train the models on that data, go back and say, now we have learned something about how we can optimize the enzyme, the exozyme, to have these new capabilities. We can make these training models that are circular. That's very unique in biology, maybe not so unique in the rest of the AI space, where people can easily imagine a car that trains on the data they collect while it's driving. We can do that, where a lot of other people in AI applications in biotech, they will only be able to basically take a data set and then make a prediction, and they kind of be stuck in that, but we can use the circular trainings, reinforcement training, and so forth to make better and better and better systems all the time.
Well, one familiar theme when it comes to AI is that it helps humans focus on the parts of their business that they want. So when it comes to your space, of course, there's a lot of competition in the landscape. So what do you think sets Exozymes apart from the competition?
So I think what is unique about us is that we can generate the relevant data on optimization much faster, much cheaper than anyone else. And I personally do believe that the AI race, especially in our sector, is actually not so much about who has the best algorithm. It's actually who has the most potent data, the cleanest signal to noise data, and who can generate it the fastest, because it's the learning cycles that actually brings us forward.
And finally, before I let you go, you're the CEO of the company. So what is your long-term vision for Exozymes?
Yeah, so if we dare to talk about like real long-term, So not putting a date on that, but what we fundamentally are unpacking here is a new way of making chemicals. So if you want to translate that into more layman speech, it's a new generation of natural resources. And it's mind-blowing when you think about that. Petrochemicals and basically harvesting from nature are the two ways humankind have access to all the resources we have today. We're introducing a third version of that, a bioengineered way of making all the things you think of as the modern life, but in a sustainable way. And that's what gets me up in the morning, fired up in the morning.
Well, Michael, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for sharing the story behind Exozymes and for all of your insights.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing secure, Swiss-hosted, data-mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure at secure.com.
There are over 83 million dogs and 50 million cats in the U.S. Up to 80% of senior cats and dogs can suffer from osteoarthritis. Spring is helping treat them and is now available in all 50 states and over 800 veterinarian clinics. Learn more at newtothestreet.com. Pet Vivo, a publicly traded company, ticker symbol PETV. Attention investors, Acurx Pharmaceuticals trades on the NASDAQ ACXP, is leading the fight against antibiotic-resistant infections with next-gen small molecule antibiotics. Targeting the $1.7 billion U.S. market for C. difficile, Acurx is driving innovation in a global health crisis. This is one stock to watch. Is ACXP an opportunity for your portfolio? Find out more at New to the Street.
Is your garden struggling to stay hydrated? Meet Waterless Garden, the organic solution that saves water and boosts your garden's health. Packed with humus materials and trillions of beneficial microbes, Waterless Garden improves soil structure and increases water retention. Use less water, get better results, and watch your garden thrive. Waterless Garden. Less water, more life.
Craig Bruce is the founder of evolvehealthandlifestyle.com, which empowers executives to live healthy lifestyles. And he is also the author of the upcoming book, Fulfillment Revolution. So, Craig, great to have you here.
Hey.
David Fagan of Top Talent, also great to have you here.
Great to be here.
So, talk about you transformed and evolved from the corporate world. So, explain that story.
Yeah, Jane, my wake-up call came when a flight attendant said to me, "You look horrible." And those three words hit me to my core. So much so that tears began to well up on that flight.
Wow. So you were really building up inside.
I was really building up inside. And the very next day, I landed in my doctor's office and my doctor ordered bed rest. But do you know what my version of bed rest was? It was working from my bed with my laptop, cell phone, and conference calls while I was pretending to rest.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment that I really knew, that I finally realized that my current lifestyle, and this happens with my clients all the time, my current lifestyle had become my new normal.
Yeah.
And it was killing me.
Yeah.
And something had to change. And I look back, and that was the moment when the fulfillment revolution was born.
Yeah, perfect. Define that for us. Like, what's the closest, shortest, most succinct definition of the fulfillment revolution?
Yeah, so the closest and succinct definition, David, is it's moving from all of those empty achievements that the world looks at high-performing business leaders and executives that you've reached success.
Okay.
It's moving away from those empty achievements to something that I call prosperity with purpose. All right. So it's really truly living a life where you're connected to you, truly connected to you and who you want to be and how you want to show up. It's also connected to your most valued relationships, and it's connected to meaningful work. And ultimately, it's about leaving your legacy. That's what the fulfillment revolution is. It's a movement.
Can you give us a little hint about the book and maybe what kind of advice or a key tip that you could give for people who are trying to find more balance?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I tend not to use the word balance because I don't believe balance is possible. Balance to me says that every part of your life gets equal time. I prefer to use the word harmony. Right. And so I think of my life as a bit of a spider web, where each of the individual components make up your life. And there'll be times when maybe your work gets pulled, and what happens to all those other components, right? And so I think the tip is to truly live a fulfilled life, right? You've got to identify who you want to be, how you want to show up. You've got to get connected to your most key relationships. And you've got to figure out why you're here.
So I know there's a lot of people listening right now. They're going, wait, does Craig want me to quit my job? Like, is that the only way? I know you had to sort of leave corporate America. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. And the majority, it's a great question, David. And the majority of my clients don't leave their current corporate jobs. They continue to, they actually even achieve greater success. And that's because they're more connected to who they are. They're more connected to, they're able to show up authentically. And you know what? This is not just a corporate issue. This occurs everywhere. Even, I coach a lot of entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs think that because they're working for themselves, they're their own boss.
You always have a boss.
You always have a boss.
It's customers, whatever.
You always have a boss. So no. But it's really getting clear about who you want to be, how you want to show up, and what are your key values.
Okay, Craig, thank you so much. David, thank you as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Thanks.